How y'all feeling though?
Feeling good,
Niggas,
bro.
everything. We
Good,
all
bro.
good,
Just
boy.
catching up. You know, niggas be tapped in anyway, so it
Facts.
ain't
Yeah,
like niggas ain't talk to each other
Little
like that.
random
We be
shit.
tapped
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there every other day.
exactly. I heard y'all just going off, so I'm like, okay, yeah, they been rapping.
Hell yeah, man. He's the
Yeah,
homie,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Nah, so yeah, glad we finally got a chance to
How you been? What's up with you, bro?
collectively hop on. I've been well, man. It's been a hell of a past year, but we made it through. Definitely got a couple of things that look promising going into this year. So that's why I want to have this whole kind of reflect on the year conversation, a little end of year wrap up. I was just scrolling through my phone, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, they all do like this end of year wrap up. And in my head, I'm like, I like the concept of end of year wrap up. I'm like, that's a cool thing. But I'm like, how can I make this my own? Like, how could I put my own spin on it? And immediately I was like, got to be a real introspective, transparent conversation. And for some reason, you three guys came up, but I do think you three individuals are people that I kind of admire and respect. And watch how you guys move from a distance. And I thought, just from black men to other black men, I think that'd be a very powerful conversation to have with you all. So, again, appreciate y'all making the time for this.
Appreciate you, bro.
Definitely, man. Like I said,
Hey,
appreciate
man, that's love,
just
bro.
the action on the idea for real. Just action on the idea. We all got so many
Yeah,
ideas, but to
For real.
actually sit down, reach out, put it together, tip my hat to you, bro.
Man, me personally, I admire you. You younger than us, but we see what you do too. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like
right.
you looking at us. We learn from each other. You know. So
Respect.
I always tip my hat to you. Everything you got going on. Vontae, we brought him in and shit. So we see that. It's like shit. We know you good people. So
Definitely.
I reached out to Elle and I told him the same thing, bro. Like, I don't do the little bro, big bro shit. You know what I mean? We all grown,
It's
bro.
love.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
that's
we
how it
all
is.
one.
So if I see you
We
making moves, man, and you know what I mean? Like you said, I gotta tilt my hat to you, bro, and say thank you, because you inspire me to do certain things. You don't even know that. So I'm like, damn,
That's
okay.
love.
You and your little crew making moves. I'm like, damn,
Facts.
the young boys out here going crazy right
they
now.
making moves, let's turn up.
Oh God.
Nah, that's respect. That's respect.
Facts.
Definitely appreciate hearing that.
Yeah,
So I guess we could kind of kick it off. I'll let y'all introduce yourselves. I don't want to shortchange anybody, and I know you all wear different hats, and I don't want to misspeak. So I can kind of let you all introduce yourself, and then we can kick it off from there.
All right, who the oldest? Go ahead.
Shit, I think I might be the oldest, low key. Yeah, you the 28. You the 28 for July, P.
Yeah.
No. Hell no. It's Shaun. His shit March
hell no.
18. Go ahead.
Hey, that was older than me.
Oh yeah, you're younger than me.
Yeah, he's younger than us. Yeah, Lance, it's on you, boy.
Damn, that shit crazy.
I'm 32 this year, boy. You already
Yeah, that's wild. All right, I'll pop it off, man. Lance, of course, we all graduated from Tennessee State. Background is in supply chain management, but started to check my passion, which was youth development and just really community development. And started doing that for like 5 years, working in education. And then now I'm in my own venture, starting my own business called We Run 313. Co-founded that, which is a running club in the city of Detroit that connects like-minded individuals through running to build a healthier and happier community.
Dope.
Next up, Mark P. Mark P. Slick he's done. 2021, y'all. It's therapy.
Therapy now.
Therapy. I'm sure we'll get into the year 2020, and that kind of brought about this whole idea and this transition. But I mean, that's of course graduated Tennessee State, political science background, and actually left the idea of law school, stepped into education, been in education about the past 7 years. And I took a step away from education this year to really focus on some of my personal ventures. One, just really sharpening this customized creative firm that I'm trying to establish. And beyond that, a larger campaign that I've been carrying with me for about a decade almost, that's finally, kind of crawling and just working to get this idea behind why we still killing each other to a point where it's more visible, and one day to be able to walk on its own. So from education, man, I'm just connected to my city. I think we all kind of got that in common. I wanted to come back home, and while I was here, I wanted to make a difference before I decided to go anywhere else. So that's me.
Definitely.
Dope.
Feel that.
Motley, just call me Motley, man. Graduate of Tennessee State University, business major. I have my MBA in business as well, and management. I pretty much work for all luxury brands, man. So started my career with Hugo Boss, opened up the first Hugo Boss in Indianapolis. From there, went on with Saks Fifth Avenue brand management. I've always had a thing for clothing, man, and sneakers. So right now I'm the sales manager over at Unknown in Miami. It's ran by Jaron Camford, Frankie Walker, and of course LeBron James. So we're repping the crew right now. But anything lifestyle, man, that's what I do, man. Like I always had goals of working for like a crazy marketing company of some sort. I always wanted to work for like translation with Steve Stout. That was a big goal of mine early
Definitely.
on
Yeah.
college. You know what I mean? Me and Low, y'all line brother, we started Low Key TV back in the day. So anything influential dealing with Black culture, that's what I'm about. Last year I started the Inner Soul Challenge. That was pretty much my way of giving back to our youth. For so long, just being in that luxury sector, I had the privilege of serving, many people of like higher status, but I just wanted to do something for us. Because at one point, I was like that young Black kid who just wanted to be involved and, wanted the dope shit, wanted the new dope sneakers, but, we couldn't afford them. So, I always told myself once I got to that point, I was going to disrupt the market and say, fuck it. Everything that everybody else cared about, new J's, new Bapes, all that, we're going to take all that shit and give it back to the streets for free. So that was my main goal, man, just to, share my story and make sure that people have the opportunity to live a life that I once dreamed of. And we're here now, so it's up to us to continue to dish that out back into the streets.
No, it's dope. And just to add on to that, for anybody that may hear this, that's even from you guys following that may not be familiar with me. I'm Elliott Mittons from Chicago, Illinois. TSU guy as well. My father went to TSU, so I always knew the HBCU route was going to be my wave. Left TSU, first job was doing brand management with Under Armour. Was out in Baltimore for a few weeks. So they transferred me back to Chicago. Since I've been here, man, I've worn a plethora of hats. I've done a lot of freelance work. I've worked with agencies. I'm currently doing some communications work with Walmart right now. Working with a cannabis company based out of St. Louis, and doing product procurement for We Buy Black based out of Atlanta. So I wear a couple hats myself, a couple different titles, but still trying to figure it all out. I'm pretty new in the career field, so we're going to figure it out.
Sure.
Most definitely. Yeah, man. So I definitely wanted to, like I said, just have like this end of year wrap up conversation. Obviously, we're in 2021 now, but I do think it's still necessary to have a reflection period to kind of, get over anything in life, in any aspect. I do think reflection is necessary. So I put together a few questions. I felt you guys would be the perfect individuals to kind of answer, and we could just share, openly share our thoughts about it and how our year went. That's cool?
Let's do it.
Most def. So to the group, we could answer this in whatever order you guys want to kick it off. But in what aspects were you challenged this year, and how did you bounce back from it, or how did you handle it?
I slide in, and man, when I look back on 2020, even if I date back to January, I was in an okay position, felt good. Everything is everything. I have a digestive disorder, and it flares up occasionally. But this year, for whatever reason, was probably the most difficult year that I've had dealing with it. So looking back to March, that's COVID just now popping off. Hospitals was mad weird at this time. And I ain't a hospital guy anyways. So dealing with this disorder, having to go to the hospital, having to be in the hospital under those rules. I was there about, I was there almost what, 19, 20 days in March. It's away from my students. There's no visitation. So, it's away from my girl, away from my daughter. And that was tough, right? It's very difficult for me. And to come back, right? So to get out of there and still just know I wasn't really myself, only for August to come around and I'm back in the hospital, another 2, 3 weeks. And it really wasn't until about October, made some medication changes. Well, I actually got rid of the majority of the medication I was on, went a more holistic route, and um, narrowed it down to one pill that seems to be doing its job. But ultimately, when I look back on the entire year, I ended up having to write this down too. It says, it's a quote almost, and it says that I rephrased it, but 2020 showed us what we are like, right? I think it showed a lot of people what you were made of, what you were like, and in many different ways, right? It was rather revealing. It was a somewhat revealing year. And understanding that that year showed us what we were like, I think that it presents the perfect opportunity for us to become better, right? So we went through this year, whether we experienced loss, whether loved ones experienced loss. This year showed us what we are made of. And I think now that we were able to get a clear picture of who we are, that just presents the opportunity to become better. And I can honestly say, since I've been out the hospital, since about November, I mean, everything that has happened in my life has been divine, and it's it's just better. I feel better. I haven't felt this good probably in my life. So I owe a lot to 2020, right? Took us through some shit, but I mean, it created a monster in me. And 2021 is just, it's go time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll slide in.
I rock with that.
Yeah, for me, man, I learned a lot about myself. I'm finally good with being alone. Like that was one thing that I struggled with. I always had to be around a group of people. I always had to be like the life of the party. Any club, any city, I was first flight out. You know what I mean? But 2020 made me sit my ass down for once. You know what I mean? And I'm really appreciative of it. Um, as you guys know, like I had COVID. I was out the game for like a month and a half. I recovered from COVID. I'm training for a race. I run with my guy Woods. I'm training for a race and I broke my damn foot. And I'm like, oh shit. Without your feet, you can't do anything. So for the first time in my life, that was real life depression. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to running, I'm used to hooping, I'm used to just being on the go. And I get over that, and then the pregnancy happens. So I'm a dad to be, but it's just like, damn, like this is news after news after news. And I think I learned how to like audible. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like the play has to be completed. You at that 50-yard line, you got to throw the pass, you got to score. But now it's all
Yeah.
about being strategic and how you do it. Like not every play has to be like 100 miles per hour. We're smart guys. You got to use your brain. You know what I mean? Like talent only gets you so far. So I really dug in, man, and like tapped in with myself for once. Um, certain hobbies that I once had, I like tapped back into, which also helped, build better relationships with friends. You know what I mean? Like I started restoring cars, which is something that I used to, do back in the day with homies that I grew up with. So I really just tapped into passions, man, and I got good with myself, um, which helped my relationship with my wife. For the first time, I was able to sit my ass down on the couch and watch a movie and not be upset and not say like, damn, why can't we go to a bar? Why can't we do this? So, now, bro, like I'm really able to put things into perspective, man, and be happy to not just have to go hard every single day, make my plays more impactful, you know what I mean, by, being strategic in how I do it. So that was 2020 in a nutshell for me, man. I stepped my game up and I realized like, yo, you don't have to crash and burn, man. Like take your time. Slow burn is good. Like, You know, the best meals in life, man, take time to like marinate. You know what I mean? It's not all about that fast food, that fast, you know, hit. So 2020 for me really just, you know, let me know like, yo, you on the right path, bro. Slow it down a little bit, think harder, think smarter, and just be more impactful in the way that you move.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, appreciate you sharing that, bro.
Yeah, no, that's real, bro.
Yeah, so man, 2020 for me was, I mean, I'm gonna stick to the running terminology. It's a marathon, right? And as you on that quest of running, you don't know what's up ahead. You know, like nobody saw 2020 coming. Like I remember I lost my job. I got laid off that December, and then I was laid off for like 2 months. So I was already in this space of being by myself. I ain't been laid off from a job in like 6 years. So I was like, yo, but it was cool because I've done things to set myself up financially from the last time that I learned from the process. So I was good. At this time, it was just like, all right, I'm about to focus on my brand and keep building. And then the pandemic hit, and it was like everybody is sitting at home with me. So I felt a little bit better about it. You know what I'm saying? But I had switched over my diet January 7th. I went completely plant-based. I just wanted to see how my performance would increase without eating food, without eating meat, without eating fish, anything like that. So I'm vegetarian. I still dab a little bit in dairy, but I'm trying to get rid of that. Vegan. But my mom got COVID, lost my uncle, and I lost a really good friend. And then Pete, my line brother, he was sick, and all of that stuff was happening. And it was just like the only real therapy that I had was to get out and run. So I got a run club. We had to shut everything down. We wasn't able to come back and, you know, open up as we usually would. So we had to get creative, man. And from there, it was just like we wanted to keep encouraging people to get out and go for a run, because you can go outdoors. You just couldn't meet people, gather, or anything like that. So I was still running through it all. And since COVID was a thing that attacks your, you know, your immune system, attacks your respiratory system, running is something that can strengthen and boost your immunity. So the things that I was doing prior to this virus happening was kind of preparing me for what I was leading up to. And I just continued to run. I continued to, you know, stick to the holistic diet and eating whole foods. And I felt like I was inspiring other people to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sick. She had COVID and everything. I could only see her through the door, and I was just taking her food because she ain't had no energy to stand up over a stove and cook or anything like that. So I was making sure I took her food, and that was like one of those moments I felt good to be at home, because I made a decision to move back home because I wanted to make an impact in my city. I wanted to be with my family, and it was just, I was just thankful to be there, you know. And yeah, man, 2020 was just one of those moments where I just was thankful. You know what I'm saying? I was seeing so many people come and go due to COVID or whatever the case may be. And it was just like, man, we got to be grateful for what we do have and not be so caught up in the things that we don't have. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, just I was doing stuff around the house that I wasn't able to do. I bought a crib in November, got laid off in December. COVID happened in March. So it was just a lot going on. I mean, I was able to redo my crib and focus on that. I was able to do stuff outdoors, get connected with nature. I'm buying plants and stuff. I'm doing some crazy shit that I ain't never done before. But I found those things to be hobbies. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, yo, like I really rock with this. Planting flowers and then watching them grow. It's like, you know, that's the whole nature of life. So it really just expanded my mind in ways that I didn't know, you know, just from being able to sit down and be patient with this process.
Hey, and
No, I appreciate you sharing that.
A lot of people don't know this, but Lance and I ran our first marathons with each other.
Yes, sir.
That was a whole thing because, you know, you know, at the time, you really just didn't see Black people running. And I don't
At
know
all.
what made you get into that space, but I remember for me, it was watching Diddy run back in the day. You know what I mean? Like on MTV, I'm like, yo, what is this nigga doing? Like 26 points sounds crazy. You know what I mean? So I remember like tapping in with Lance, and yo, this is before Lance was like an avid runner. And I'm like, okay, I need somebody to do this with me. You flying out to Miami, let's get it. So I'm gonna ask you this: like, what motivated you to get to that point? Because obviously you have We Run 313, which is crazy as shit. I tell everybody in Miami,
It's crazy, bro.
homies,
Definitely.
everybody like, yo, it's a Black run group based out of Detroit that's going ham right now. You know what I mean? Like, I got my little situation going on with the Unknown Run Club, but obviously it's definitely not where, you know, We Run 313 is. Like, what got you to that point?
Man, you know what's so crazy, bro? I was on the skis, bro. You know, when he started Sweaty September.
For sure.
And I was just helping him, you know, I was just helping him promote his brand. Like September, you know, he was like trying to get people reacclimated to their fitness goals in September because, you know, motherfuckers make New Year's resolutions in January, September. They fell all the way off. So it was like reigniting that flame. And for me, I never was into cardio. I never ran or anything like that. He was running and everything. So make a long story short, I started running and like I could barely run a mile, bro. Like I was terrible. I wasn't running consistently or anything like that. And then I started to see myself develop, not only physically, I was an athlete, I hooped and all of that in high school, but I wasn't no distance athlete. But I started seeing myself improve from being able to 1 mile to 2 miles or to 3 miles. And then I'm like, damn, I can run 5 miles, you know? And then I started to see what it was doing mentally and spiritually and emotionally and all mental.
That's why I took it here.
Yes. So I'm like, damn. And then once we linked up and did the marathon, you know, it took us a minute to get there. But once we started seeing he was running like that, then we started like holding each other accountable via social media and all of that. And then we was like, yo, we should do a race together. And we did that race, that full, which was terrible because the first time, bro, you ran it in like 5 hours. I ran it in 4:25. My second one, I just did that shit in 3 hours and 18 minutes. Like
you gotta
it's crazy.
actually run in that group setting to kind of find it though.
Yeah.
Your pace as an individual is different when you get in that pack run.
It's the energy, bro.
Hell yeah.
Energy of other people in that pack.
Yeah. And that's funny.
Yeah,
because,
but I mean, just anything you.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say
You
anything you consistently do, anything that you consistently do, you're going to get better at. Like I started being very fucking consistent at running, and I started getting very fast, and I got people around me, and that synergy helps you develop into a better person at whatever it is that you do. Whether it's you speaking, we lost P. That. Whether it's you speaking, whether it's you drawing, or I don't know, whatever the case may be. If you're consistent with it, man, you're gonna be good. But that's what I learned about the running shit for sure.
I was gonna say I actually got into it. My father. So prior to this year, it kind of killed, you know, marathons and everything. But this year would have been his 21st year of like running marathons.
Oh shit.
So he definitely introduced me into it. I can't say I took more of a hobby as I started to see, you know, Shaun and Motley. My bad, Motley.
Oh,
I started seeing you know what I mean, really amped it up. And I remember one day, funny story. I went out for a run. It got super cold. You know, we the Windy City, so I had to actually jog back up to my gym. And I'm like, you know, I kill it on the treadmill. I wrap it up on there. Man, I did about 7 miles. Man, maybe I think that day I did like 8, maybe 8:01, 8:02, maybe.
Yeah.
Consistently. And I felt good. I'm like, shit, all right, I done got my time down a little. I'm doing all right. Man, I think right hand of God, I think that same day I was on the running app and Lance did like 6:57 or something. I was like, man. I had one of those like look in the mirror moments, like, no, what is you not doing right? Like, and then he put up a video. I think he's gonna remember. I think he was crossing the bridge, And I'm talking about this nigga stride was just like a deer. I gotta give it up. At this point, I gotta run for me. I can't run to try to compete with the numbers.
Yeah.
Never gonna catch that.
You're right.
I mean, but look though. I mean, look,
Man.
and just to jump in too. I mean, that's a bar in itself. You gotta run for you. And that's one thing I can honestly sit here and say and look at Lance. And even when Motley asked him the question, you know, to kick all of this off, listening to your perspective, I mean, you fell in love with the journey, bro. You fell in love with the process. It wasn't necessarily about, oh shit, man, I just ran a 10-minute 1 mile. I can't do this, right? And not only does that directly associate with running, I mean, like you say, life is a marathon. You can sit here and focus on the outcome, right? And if you don't hit that outcome exactly, you know, you're disappointed in yourself, right? What could I have done better? Or maybe I'm gonna just quit altogether because I'm so focused on achieving this outcome that I done forgot what's gonna get me there. That's the work. And I watched Lance commit to something, right? Not overcommit, but slowly make small commitments to something where now you look back like, bro, how'd you do it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's for one, although it started for yourself, bro, do you know how crazy that sound? A black run club out of Detroit?
Wow. Right.
You know how wild that sound? And that ain't no shade to the D. You know, I got love. Yeah. We all Midwest. You know what I'm saying? Shit, everybody on the call Midwest, you know? And
I did that strategically too. I don't think nobody's gonna notice that.
I peeped it, bro. Yeah. No, I peeped it, bro. I peeped it, bro.
I ain't even peeped.
Look, I got this little notebook, man. Fuck this notebook, man. I'm about to take it there. I promise you, all right? I'm about to take it. I definitely peeped that. And like I even showed, like I had hit you in the DM one day just on the strength, just on the branding strength. Like this shit so far left field from anything I thought that I'd ever be into, right? I ain't know nothing about branding, marketing, any of that.
Yeah.
When I tell y'all, I've completely immersed myself in this, and the messages that I learned about branding, I mean, you can apply them to life, right? And even this whole idea about falling in love with the process, Lance, that's what you did with Rerun 313. You fell in love with just getting up and committing to the little things, to where that mile turned to 2 miles, turned to 3 miles, till you calling me 16. I'm in the hospital crying. He called me, bro, I just ran 16 miles for you. 16. Like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I see where Rerun 313 has gone, I just know that you only reach that level of visibility or that level of success, one, when you commit into a process, right? Win or lose, you know what I'm saying? Like success or fail, I'm committing to this process. And then two, when it becomes bigger than you, you know, who's it for? You saving so many lives through that, right? A black run club from Detroit. That shit's golden, right?
100%.
Golden. So, I mean,
it's about to bring me to tears.
No, bro. It's bars, man.
Crazy.
It's bars.
It is definitely.
And this is so legend. Like, I'm in therapy, right? I go to therapy every Thursday. I fucking love Thursdays. I love Mondays. I love Thursdays, right?
Yeah, I'm about to start, bro. Real talk.
No, look, I'm telling y'all, right? To hear Motley say that he reached a point of depression, for one, for you to even be able to look at yourself and say, like, nigga, you're depressed, nigga. Like, that's some shit in itself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
real.
I'm not
Most definitely.
I'm not depressed. You know, I'm this. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm mad. But for a man to really face himself and to be able to come with grips, like, look, it's something deeper going on, you know? And that's the first step with anything. And one of the biggest things that I learned in therapy is just about simply doing what you commit to doing. You know what I'm saying? Motley this year sat you down, and you're making smaller commitments. You know what I'm saying? But you following through on them. You know, I don't gotta be out. You know me, shit. You know I'm the life of the party too, right? Mark P.
Nigga, we all are.
Like I said, no, niggas all are. Goddamn.
I've heard individual stories on y'all three, and we can talk about that offline.
Hey, for the public.
Hey, picture the next world.
Oh, definitely.
That man's
real.
Mark P. dead.
Oh, really? Motley is a fucking rock star.
No, Motley's a rock star.
Motley's he a different type.
Hey, Motley,
look.
this when I took pictures, this where this came from.
Right here.
Hey, telling you,
Got to go
boy.
to work the next day. They like, man, you was Scully at the client event. Oh,
Hey,
Man,
gotta say,
past
say.
life.
Dog.
Nah, that's
past
real.
life.
Hell, where we at next? Like we done spun off and we done kind of segued
Right, my
into
bad.
other
Yeah,
questions.
yeah,
Where we
yeah.
That's
at?
what
Where we
happens
at?
when
Where
you
we
have
at?
organic
Nah,
What is
nah,
it?
we all
It's
will.
conversation, bro. That's what we doing. What is all about
Nah, we
bringing it
all
back?
will. Well, we could tap in with the next. I got a few questions that I thought would be perfect for this sit down, but this one we kind of indirectly just touched on. But it's what changes did you all expect to see or have seen in your industry due to COVID? Like what changes has happened in your immediate industry?
Hey, man, the fashion and shoe game is like the stock market right now.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Definitely.
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you on some humble shit. If you got access to me and my product, you a lucky motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy.
No,
Cause
real
For
talk.
sure.
you know what I mean? Like, man, people just had money. It's either you didn't have money or you had money and people were just spending. Like spending.
Probably
So
spent more than ever this year.
facts. You know, we can go through those numbers as well. Like the e-com and you know, the e-com game is like crazy, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
people ran it up and you know, product became scarce. So if you had it, which I had it, people were willing to drop whatever for certain things. And you know, when I take on clients, it's more than the money because either way it goes, like I'm gonna sell my shit regardless. But when I take on a client, I take on a friendship or a family member. Like we locked in for life. You know what I mean? I gotta like you as a person to be able to hit you up and be like, yo, I got this. You know, what you want to do? You know what I mean? Because I can do that with anybody. So, you know, really, man, like what this year has done for me within my industry, man, it's really helped me like hone in on like just client relations and really like just tap into my bag. Like I always say, what I do is a business within a business, like unknown, and the floor and the platform that they give me is it's just a platform. Motley is it's a brand, it's a business in itself. So I do what I do to make sure that the people that I cater to are well taken care of, that they have first dibs on you know everything. But at the same time, you know, I treat them like family, man. I treat my people like family. So access, that's the one word that Lance and I, we talk about that shit all the time, man. Everything is all about access, baby.
You know,
Most definitely.
look, I'm coming from a whole different. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in education,
Yeah.
and not only just education. I'm in urban public education. You know, 98% black, 99% black
This is
schools.
strategic too. I know everybody dabbling. You know, we got
Yeah.
areas we intersect, but we definitely got our own areas that we stand
Yep,
in.
yep,
So.
yep. That we can kind
Yes,
of
sir.
break off to, right? So from an educational standpoint, I mean, knowledge is power, right? And understanding that knowledge is power, a lot of our communities, right? A lot of our black and brown communities, we are disadvantaged ultimately, right? And when it comes to this whole pandemic and equity and guaranteeing people equal access to an opportunity of learning, I mean, without question, our community gets the shorter end of the stick. And even to this day, right? Granted, I didn't sign a teaching contract, as I stated before, due to my health. My phone rings daily from students from within these 7 years, right? Where like Motley, as an educator, I position myself where I put them first. I'm a servant, not just the child, but the entire family. In any way I can help, any way I can be around, anywhere you see I can help benefit y'all situation, let me know, and I'm gonna work 10 times hard to try to figure out, try to meet y'all halfway. And I have great relationships, right? To a point where, I mean, my students call me as if I'm still teaching, right? The parents reach out to me as if I'm still teaching. They call me looking for books as if I'm still in front of them, because it's a struggle in our community, especially for those that may be uninspired and may not have the best home situation. to have someone you see every day that's gonna show up every day, that you know is gonna ride for you every day, and then to have that all snatched away from you, it was a lot, right? And many of them, they're doing terrible. Even some of my brightest students, they're doing terrible in school, and it's largely because education literally it just changed overnight, right? But one thing that it creates an opportunity for, I always look like problems. You can look at them like, that's a fucking problem, or you can look at them like, all right, it's an opportunity for something to change, for something to get better. And what this has done across many industries is promote innovation. It's promoted this childlike wonder. You know what I'm saying? Like this curiosity. And the people that are striking and acting on these ideas right now, they commit to them for the right reasons. I mean, they're going to strike gold one day, because this is it's just a transformational period in education, and it's just a great opportunity to change an entire industry, an entire sector, one that wasn't even designed for people that look like us to thrive and advance through anyway. You know what I'm saying? So now that it's fucking broken, we can squeeze in like, nah, you're gonna cut us in when this get back going the way it's supposed to be going. Because right now we're catching the short end of the stick. Our kids, our youth are catching the short end of the stick. So that's how this shit has fucked up a field that I'm true to, that I'm committed to, that I always will be committed to. Is everything to me. Education is everything. And even us on this phone, we're all from the Midwest.
Yeah.
We all left.
Yeah.
We didn't just leave. We left, and it was a choice, and we went to a school full of professors, full of people that look like us. I grew up in the district with all white people. I didn't have a black teacher until college. Not one. Like I didn't have it.
Wow.
My sister went to TSU.
I'm gonna be
what? No, my sister went to TSU in 1999. I was 11 years old. We dropped her off. I knew at age 11, like, nah, I'm going to school here. Like, it ain't no doubt in my mind. As soon as I can apply, I'm applying. I'm going to school here. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what I did. And for us to not only all leave our cities, to venture out, to get this all Black experience, to go back home, you know what I'm saying? And take what we've learned, take, you know the word, HBC favorite, the word, matriculated.
All the matriculation.
Matriculated through that shit.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? And we came back. Come on, man. We came back home. We left like caterpillars, man. We really came back like little baby butterflies, Like, and we
real talk.
10 years later, now we really seeing the change that we really changing shit.
We in our bag, man.
Shit, wow, it's 10 years later, dog.
10 years later, bro, we in our bag.
That shit is crazy.
So
we in our bags.
I went to mixed schools my entire life. Me going to TSU was the
Me
first
as well.
time I went to school with all Black kids.
No.
And that was some different shit. That was a mind fuck.
Different.
That was a real mind fuck.
I went to school with all Black people, had all Black teachers. Like I never went on no college tour. I know we sidetracking from the.
Nah,
we still in the industry. We still in education.
Yeah. But bro, I went to an all Black school, had all Black teachers. Way when I went into the school system, I went to the same school system that I came out of. You know what I'm saying? Detroit Public Schools. I graduated from one of the hardest schools in the city. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no Cass King Renaissance. I know y'all hear about Cass a lot because there's a lot of people from Cass, which is they say number one school in Detroit Public School system. A lot of people went to TSU that came from Cass. They get different type of educational experience than I had. So for me to come from the situations that I came from, experience TSU, I'm like, damn, because I got to get a full cultural perspective of Blackness at an HBCU from a social economic status. Like I met rich Black motherfuckers, met middle class Black motherfuckers, and I met poor ass Black motherfuckers just like me. It was just like okay, I took all these things and brought it back to the city, and that's why I went into education, because I'm like, yo, I got to reach these kids back at the crib and something different. And the only reason why I was able to make something of myself, because I had somebody that was on my head, my guidance counselor, and got me to TSU.
Mm-hmm.
I went to TSU the first time I came to TSU. I went on a Greyhound bus. Make a long story short, went on a Greyhound bus, and I went down to that bitch by myself. Like, I ain't had nobody come with me, but I was determined to go there. Yeah, never went on no college tour or nothing. I just went on a leap of faith, bro. But anyway, bro, like, anyways, to the COVID question, man, it's a little bit different for me, man, because COVID made people be like, I gotta get on my shit from a health perspective, right? So like the gyms was closed, but shit outside ain't closed. You know what I'm saying? So people was getting like, yo, I gotta run, I gotta work out more, I gotta build my immunity, because this is attacking my health, and health is the only thing that you really have. So I've been on this shit. So now COVID happened, and everybody like, yo, I gotta get healthy. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of helped us in a way.
Cause y'all didn't miss a beat. It seemed like y'all just kept it going.
I just kept going.
Yeah.
It went harder and went harder. So first things first, my co-founder Joe Robinson, we on the website, but we was like, we got to get the website going crazy, because this is an opportunity for us to sell merchandise, because we gonna keep this going. So now people can buy our merchandise online. So we was able to ship stuff out. And then once we was able to get the goal to be able to gather in small groups, you know, we made it where we had the social distance and stuff like that. At the time, it was just like everybody still wanted to come run. So we had numbers that was 150 plus people come out to run. At same numbers. It might have been a little bit less, but now I'm thinking, what is it gonna look like when COVID passes? Because our biggest, like 250 people come out on a 2 Mile Tuesday running through Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is it gonna look like? I imagine now, since people were coming out, and these were all mostly, it was people that I retained from last year, but it was a lot of new faces. Every Tuesday, every Thursday is new people coming. So we had sold like $15,000 in merchandise just like that. You know what I'm saying? The numbers was increasing. We just got more creative on how to keep people involved and how to keep people active socially and physically, you know? So, I mean, it kind of helped us in a sense, because we had to develop different ways of keeping people engaged via social media, for real. And then once we got the clear, everybody was out, and we never missed a beat.
Yeah, no. Look, Motley said it, and you focus on the customers, man. We don't worry about competitors. You focus on your customers. Come on, man. Yeah. You focus on them.
Nah, that's real.
Good, man.
You hit it out the park with them.
They gonna always show love.
I'm sitting back. I'm looking at the screen right now. It's crazy, bro. Like, remember when we were at TSU? Like, our old heads and shit used to be pissed that we all used to hang around each other. And they'd be like, yo, fuck them niggas. Like, why you hanging around Alpha?
Why you hang around them campus?
These are like, we literally learned how to tie ties and like put on suits and like become grown ass men with each other. Like certain experiences, bro, that you cannot strip away. And when everybody else tried to like pull us apart, it was just like, we stayed true to ourselves, man. So to see, you know, this conversation happen like 10 years later, bro, it really just brings me back to a place like, you know, we running for SGA positions and shit with each other.
Man, what?
Yeah.
I'm with Peterson, you feel me? I'm with Garden, bro. Like this, I'm watching him learning alpha strolls. He's trying to teach me kappa strolls. I'm like, yeah, bro, it's crazy, bro. Like once you get older, man, put things into perspective, bro. Like this conversation and shit was supposed to happen.
Yeah, everything, man.
I'm glad to help facilitate it too.
Yeah, bro.
So yeah, we can transition. I got 2 more questions that I think y'all really hit a home run with, and then we can kind of wrap it up. You know what I mean? Have last little thoughts and remarks there. So this is a good one. This is one I was even internally answering myself as I was typing these out on the flight when I hit you all. So I put a lot of harsh realities came to light this year, from police neglect to political abuse of power, shootings, riots, and specifically the health disparities within our communities. How did this year shape your viewpoint on family and community as a Black man?
And in bars,
Mm.
I'm jumping in because again, I'm a bookworm. I'm a reader. I always have been. Growing up, again, like growing up in the city, getting bussed out to a predominantly white area to go to school. Since I was 4 years old, I was introduced to race very differently, right? To a point where I attribute a lot of my anxiety to growing up in an all-white institution, right? There are many instances where just the sake of assimilating or wanting to fit in, that I didn't talk about things that I wanted to talk about, like that I didn't do certain things. And I mean, I can remember back now, like even at the age of 5, 6 years old, like I vividly remember things happening, and due to, whatever, I didn't want to talk about it, right? Or I didn't want to bring it up, or, what I'm saying? I love Star Wars, but I mean, they put me on the Star Wars, like they put me onto that stuff. And that's the side that I would play to when I was with them. And I'm angry about that as an adult. You know what I'm saying? I sit back and I think about that. I think about past relationships. I think about, did they like me, or was I just like a Black kid they could tolerate? You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to race, when it comes to things like that, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's the most segregated city in the country, like dead ass, like not even the way around it. We centralized in one area. Our area looked like shit. Go to another area, that area looks like that. Like it's clear as day. And the recent events, be it from police, to whatever, right? I attribute a lot um a lot of America's shortcomings. I mean, it's all built off one humongous lie, right? And that's that white people came here and they sat back like, all right, I'm white, so I'm here, and they Black, so they at the bottom. It's a lie, right? Like, where did that come from? Who told you that? Who confirmed that? And from that lie, right, you're able to develop this caste system or this hierarchy system based off physical appearance. And to support this lie, they've had to tell so many other lies. And one of those lies, speaking to what the question directly, I mean, are the lies that target and ultimately became the stereotypes of the Black community. A lie that I picked to attack this.
Damn.
He was getting his bag too.
Go in too, boy.
Yeah, bro's going in.
He's about to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
in.
Bro's hit us. Oh,
No, I know.
oh, they ain't want him to get that heat.
I know. Damn.
Say Zoom had us on monitor.
It's too much. It's too much for TV. They said the revolution will not be televised.
Man.
Ah, shit.
So no,
Damn.
I guess just waiting till he can come back in. I think because I see where he was going with it, right? So I'm gonna keep it real basic. I won't step on his toes.
Yeah.
But I think this year more than anything, man, it made me realize my presence was needed more so in my immediate family. So my immediate family is made up mom, older sister, younger sister, 2 nieces. So me being the guy that left, went away for school. That was initially my reason being relocated back in Chicago. I'm like, okay, now we got a 3rd generation of women in the family, not too many male presence around, just being transparent. So I understood even back in 2017 what role I had to play. I think for this year to come about and us to see a lot of this stuff play out, on a national scale and going down again to like the riots and the lootings and even, the shit that just happened this week. I think more so than ever, it showed that my presence as the Black figure in my family had to be increased. I think I had to be a little more aware of things they may be going through as the women in my family. And I had to be vocal on it, you know, and I had to play my role. So even down to a small thing I do, which is hilarious because if you know me, you know I love mafia movies. But one thing I even implemented with my family was like the double kiss on both cheeks before we leave, just as a reassurance of like me embracing them. And just, you know, doubling down again on just having my presence within our immediate family. So this year for me, as I stepped in while you was away.
Oh no, you good. You got it. You got it.
Yeah. But this year for me specifically, like I said, not to go in your lane because you was about to go off. But it just showed me that my presence within the family, the women in my family had to be reestablished and had to be solidified. So that was an eye opener for me this year. As a Black man, obviously going back to the question.
Man, I don't even know where man, look, I'm telling y'all, I'm so telling you, I'm so
going in,
passionate
bro.
about
They ain't want you to go there.
You see what I'm saying? I gotta holler at Tim Cook, man. Tim,
it makes me sick.
What you got going on? No, this shit infuriates me though. It makes me sick to my fucking stomach, honestly, because all of it is bullshit. All of it is one big lie, and then a bunch of other lies that have been ingrained so deeply and programmed in us that we even believe them, right? Now we get to this point where in my city, homicides shot up almost 70-90% this year, right? We ain't had this many homicides since like 1970 some shit, right? Over 200 something homicides. Like a 13-year-old girl just got killed last night. And you all know the campaign that I promote. I mean, it's why we still killing each other, right?
Very impactful.
All that ultimately is attempting to do is to destroy a lie and on the flip build value. So on the back end of it, like I say, I promote my search, people support, that money sits. I use that money to stock up books, but books that are going to teach us about our culture, right? And I feel that in this time, there may not be too many things more important than to reset and reestablish who we are as a culture, right? And ultimately, the best way to do that is through the youth, right? I'm older, right? I'm not old. I hate saying that. I'm older, right? We're older.
Yeah.
And it's said what? It's easier to build a child than it is, you know what I'm saying, than to rebuild like a broken man, right? I hope that our efforts individually, not even I hope, I know our efforts individually inspire our peers, our age. They see it, right? I know that. I don't even question that. So instead, my focus and of course my field is working with the youth. So it's like, how can I do this? Everybody knows I like to read. So now my teacher friends, I pull up, I donate a classroom set of books that I'm getting from the sales, from the merchandise, right? The merchandise is just there to promote visibility. And the whole thing is designed to destroy lies and to build value, to build worth. I look at myself in the mirror as you all do. We see something. I know I'm something. I know I'm somebody, but I've worked with too many at the age of 12. They feel worthless. They feel hopeless. They feel like they ain't nothing, right? And when you feel like that on the inside, if I can't love myself, you know, damn well, I'm not looking at the next man like I could love them. I'm not looking at the next man like they could be something. So in times like all these white people throwing this tantrum the other week, I mean, they're threatened right now. Their position is threatened. We got somebody out of office who clearly sided and aligned with a particular group, and now we have someone who appears to be aligning with members with another group, right? And the more this other group, our community, the more we climb up, the more threatened this other group, this dominant group feels, right? And it causes them to do stupid ass shit, right? They think it's powerful, right? They think they're scaring us, but I mean, it's insecurity, if anything. So if you really pay attention to what's going on in America right now, it's nothing new. You can go back and read Baldwin. You can go back and read, you know, you can go back in history and see this. It's already here. Right. But now it's like, what are we going to do as a community, right? What are we really going to do? What are we really willing to commit to as a community? Not put on the president, you know what I'm saying? Not put on anybody else. What are Black people? Because we got some money, right? We spend that shit.
Yeah.
We have money.
Yeah.
What are we really gonna do? You know what I'm saying? If you go door to door and ask for $100 so we can start cleaning up the streets and building up the blocks, they're gonna slam. They're gonna cuss you out, right? What are we really going to do? You know what I'm saying? To really take control of our shit. And I hope that through this effort and this campaign, you know what I'm saying, that even if it ain't Mackenzie, maybe my daughter's daughter, you know what I'm saying? Like one day, maybe that lie won't be so true. Maybe it won't be so ingrained in us that kids can go outside and play and not think about that. Not worry about a stray, not worry about getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, and you in the go, hell, Lance, you in the D, it's shit. Indianapolis, like it's ugly. We know the ugly parts of our city. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And when I think about Von, and Von, look, Von said this shit so real, right? Gilly and them had asked the nigga, they asked him like, hey, you know, I see like 100 people got killed this weekend. Who's that in the third? You know, you don't wish that would stop? He kind of looked at him like, wish it would stop. Like, I mean, it can't. You know what I'm saying? Like these people, family members at the end of the day, like that's somebody's cousin, that's somebody's brother, you know what I'm saying? That's somebody's father. And it's an ugly game. But I tell you this, I wish my mama had some money when we was growing up, so I didn't have to, you know, be raised in the projects. I wish that, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's other things that I wish would change, right?
Exactly.
What I'm doing right now is just telling you what I see, what I live through, what I go through. Don't crucify me for it, because that ain't the root of the problem, you know? And then even crazier, I mean, it's the white people that got it glorified. If anything I got a problem with is that shit is now cool.
Yeah.
But that's the fucking radio.
Fact.
That's white people. They make that shit cool for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I can go off on this all day. Like when it comes to
I already know.
when it comes to Black people, that's what I go hard for us. And I go hard for us because I would hate to pass through here. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I would regret.
Yeah.
Whether my work leads to a change or not, I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? If it failed, if nothing ever happened, I can live with it. What I can't live with, what I will regret, is knowing I spent 80 some odd years and I ain't trying my hardest, you know, to make that change.
Not trying shit. Like what?
You know what I'm saying? Just talking shit.
I'm just I'm gonna piggyback on you, man, because I get real passionate about it too. I'm gonna try not to be long-winded, but the same shit I see in my communities, man. Y'all heard about Detroit. Like I'm on the west side of Detroit right now. I live off Joy Road and fucking Schaefer. The same shit that T Grizzly said. Like T Grizzly graduated from high school that I spent 5 years trying to educate the youth in. You know what I'm saying? He went to Cody. That's why I fuck with bitches. My body come from Persian to Cody. That's from east to west. Joy Road, I'm right off Joy Road right here. So to be in these communities where I run in and I'm a part of the community because I'm from here, you know, so I'm from the west side. And what I see as I've educated myself, as I've become more aware of the lies and all of the things that we've been told, and being a Black man and seeing the shit that's happening, not nothing new, right? We just got social media to bring more people aware of what's happening. This shit been going on forever, you know? So from a health perspective, I remember Danny Glover saying one thing, this Motley line brother, he said his grandmother, this shit stuck with me for a long time. She said, be careful of the things that you see as problems, because those things become your solutions. I mean, be careful of the things that you see as problems, because those problems become your problems to fix on those lines. Where it's like, damn, like deeply rooted in my heart, I feel like this shit is fucked up. Yeah. So now
what you gonna do?
I have to figure out a solution to this shit. What the fuck am I gonna do about it, right? You know, because people talk about the problems all the time. Like they bash it, they say this and they say that. But what the fuck who's developing solutions about this? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And like you said, I look at myself in the mirror. I know that I am valuable. I love who I am. So I cannot inflict harm into another Black person. That's just me, because I love me. I love my people. I love my family. I love my friends. I don't, if I can't see a nigga and I'll be like, damn, this nigga got on Gucci. I'm looking to hit a lick. Like I'm about to rob you or kill you, or we get into a confrontation. I spill a drink on your shoes at the club and I want to fight you and kill you. And like, I'm not thinking that you a father or son or a brother or whatever. Until we can get people to understand this, and that's why I always support my brothers when they doing something with Devontae or Motley or P, like buying merchandise and promoting that shit. Like, why we still killing each other? Like, that's raising the question for
Real
people
shit.
to think. People don't utilize their mind. I think people are just moving along. They don't take a second to stop and think. So to the running perspective and the running community is like, man, when I run through these liquor stores, run through the neighborhood, and I pass through the liquor stores on every corner, and I really think it's against the law, like on a city ordinance standpoint, that you can have liquor stores 1 mile radius. But if the Chaldeans and shit are the ones that's placing these things in these communities, and we're not what's in our fucking neighborhood, we ain't going to the city council and complaining to these motherfuckers like, yo, this is here. You know, like, this gotta go. We're so brainwashed to think like this is how it is, and this is
right.
It's supposed to be like that, right? Or like there's access to healthy foods or grocery stores. I gotta drive to the fucking suburbs to get some fucking food. You know, that's whack. And I try to continuously educate myself and stay healthy and be an example, even through all my shortcomings, because I'm a fucking human being. But I just try to be what we need to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, be the Gandhi quote, be the change you wish to see. You know,
that's
like,
simple.
Try to be that person. I try to be that person in every walk of my life, whether that's in my family, whether that's in my community, and whether that's just being God. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I look at it, man. So like, from looking at America and shit, I look at that and I just be like, you know, all right, the shit that's happening last week at the state capitol, I look at that shit and I'll be like, wow. I'm like, wow, like it's like, what? I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because you never really know what white people are capable of. I don't think we ever seen no shit like that. But I'm not surprised at it. Black people don't do shit like that.
Right.
You know?
100%.
Yeah, man, it's just like, I'm always in this constant mindset of what can I do within myself, you know, to make our communities better. And long I continuously develop myself. Because it ain't about like, it is about helping others, but the things that I do within me will project itself in itself. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm starting to reflect just on everything right now. And I can honestly say, like, I kind of feel like Mark and I we were raised, you know, the same
Similar.
way.
I always knew that though.
Yeah. Like, I tell niggas like, bro, I'm from the east side, you feel me? I'm an east side nigga from that. That just is what it is. And I live by that quote, like, you know, remember who you are, remember who you were before you know, got to where you're at right now. You know what I'm saying? So for some odd reason, bro, like, I was one of those black kids that had the opportunity to go to the rich neighborhoods, to get on the boats, to be accepted by the white kids. And for some odd reason, they try to make it seem like I wasn't like the other black kids. And I would take that shit back home. And I'd be like, yo, mom, pops, like, I'm at this big ass crib, and they like, that ain't, you know, it ain't what you think it is. You feel me? It's a myth. I'm thinking, you know, these kids and these parents had all this money, but I come to find out they got big ass homes with no furniture in them. You know what I mean? And my pops is picking me up in a big ass Ford F-150 big truck, and I'm like, yo, why are you picking me up in this truck? Like, park over here. I'm gonna walk to the truck. And he's like, are you ashamed of the truck?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, this ain't it. Like, I'm gonna walk to it. And I didn't know that my pops was doing better than these white parents. You know what I mean? Like that was the money maker. Like we were good,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it didn't look good to me on my outlook in life.
Yeah.
So now, you know, I take it a step further, post college, and L, you can attest to this. You know, you work for Under Armour coming out. You go through the corporate ladder, and you're good with the white folks. So you're stripping you know, every step you take, you know, a piece of you is getting stripped away. So you drink the Kool-Aid and you kind of forget,
man,
I'm black. You feel me? Like,
For sure.
I'm talking about me. Why the hell do you feel comfortable talking about black relations to a black man? You know what I mean? Like, and it took me, you know, a little bit later on in my career to like kind of understand, like, oh, like they don't look at you, you know, as being a black guy that may have gotten, you know, shot on live TV or on Instagram, on Facebook Live. But when I go home, I still got to go to the hood to go see grandma, auntie, cousin, whoever. You know what I mean? That's still me. So I think of myself and like where I stand right now. It's like I think I'm that bridge. You know what I mean? Because for some odd reason, still like I'm one of those black guys who white people just they don't mind like asking that question. You know, how do you feel about this situation? You know, what about this? What about that? So now It's like, okay, we could have a conversation. If you're not gonna have it with this dude, I'm gonna at least let you know, how we feel in my community. You know what I mean? So I'm an educator to them, but also if I'm giving you knowledge, I need something in return. So for us back in the city, we got Finish Line headquarters dead smack in Indianapolis. Y'all white kids, y'all like Jordan 1s? Y'all like these Air Force 1s? Run that. You feel me? If I'm giving you game, I need 500 pairs to get back to my hood.
Fact.
You feel me?
Right.
I know my worth now.
Yep. That's what it's about.
And because of that,
that's what it's about.
You feel me? We're not gonna have this conversation for free. I'm not about to put you on game. I don't know what you're gonna do with this information. So we about to trade. I'm gonna tell you about yourself and how we feel as people, and you finna run it. Like, I need this shit because my people are sitting here hurting. They don't have the resources. So if there's one person that can get them, it's me. So I'm more so like that gap, man. And again, with each situation, each shooting, each protest, you know, I find myself like in a tough spot because I'm very much so pro-black. I support all black businesses. Everything that I do is all black. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, like it's tough, man. But also like I feel like, bro, like you cannot be afraid to have this conversation, you know, with them. But I don't know. I think I'm just here to enlighten them, bro, and be proud of myself and know that, you know, being from the east side of Nap, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. So I fully embrace like who I am as a person. And, you know, my whole objective in life is to spread knowledge, bro, and to, you know, get resources for my people and to bring them up and to, you know, again, give them the shit that I wish I would have had when I was young.
Knowledge and exposure, bro.
That's it, man.
That's
knowledge and exposure.
That's what I needed from y'all. That's what I was looking for. The answers right there.
Fucking Black Lives Matter. Look, all this Black Lives Matter, cool. All these No, I'm telling you, no. Look, yeah. That's real cool. Now you about to act on it. You know what I'm saying? Here go this proposal for this.
Right.
I need the support.
We need
I need it because you can entrust me. I don't know what y'all doing other than putting signs up, right? Because that's the wave right now.
Absolutely.
You don't want your window bust in. So you're gonna have the sign up, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. All the way up to Coca-Cola, they go up to whoever. It's cool to rep Black Lives Matter right now. That's like y'all buffer, you know. But I'm gonna come to your front door and I'm gonna present something to you, not just in a way. I'm gonna present something to you like I went to Georgetown Business Program. You know what I'm saying? Like I went to this school, and you're not gonna be able to tell me no, because if you do, I'm telling on the G.
Okay. Perfect question. Just to circle behind that. Have you, in your professional or in your personal life, have you ever felt conflicted in a situation like that? So like backstory, I'm currently working in PR right now. we actually took on a client whose daughter was facing like a lot of backlash at her university for like some old tweets. You know, she comes from a prominent family, so they had some money to kind of clean up her image. But again, as a guy that got access to read some of this stuff and see like, you know, some of these group threads she was in, it's kind of like I'm stuck in the middle of this is still offensive, but this is also a client. It's like, have you ever hit a point where like you were conflicted on what side to take in the matter of such?
I could say younger, when I was younger, yeah. But I mean, I'm telling y'all, I'm so disgusted by it all. Like I said, like I really have to talk to my therapist about it.
Yeah.
I don't be ready to go off on everybody, but to know how long some of this has been going on, right? And you know, people have their excuses. People have their, well, my dad's not racist. My best friend is black. Rah, rah, rah. You know, they had
The
those.
token black friend, yeah.
Right. They have those. But my thing is, and my biggest issue isn't necessarily with white people, it's just the lie that's been upheld. And when it boils down to it, if you were asked to shed your whiteness to truly be equal to us, you know, would you? And many of them, I mean, they wouldn't, right? And when it comes to being in these uncomfortable positions, for one, I'm not a disrespectful person. So I do believe that communication and how things are articulated is very important. I could sit here and prove my point all day, but I'm at an age where I would much rather be understood. You know, I want to be heard. I want you to receive the message that I'm telling you. So no matter how uncomfortable it may be, I take the time to figure out a way to articulate this message so that one, yes, I'm telling you how I feel, right? I'm not even watering it down. But two, I'm also stressing that I want you to receive it, right? I could sit here and yell at you. You could get in those meetings and go off like, I don't want nothing to do with this. I don't want nothing to do with that. She bogus, she this. But like you said, you're in the middle. So you can't really do that. Ultimately, I'm a man. I need to provide for mine, right? And it's not a matter of selling out, right? Again, it's a matter of understanding who you are and then figuring out how can I get this message to this group. You work with them, you know how they think. Like I said, one reason why some of us are able to navigate around white people like that is because we aren't afraid of them. Because we're around them. Yeah. I was around them for 14 years of my life, like on a daily. So I can walk in a room with you and not feel uncomfortable. I think there's a lot of people in our culture who don't get that exposure to this group of people. So now when we're in front of them, it's still something that we have to work through. It's still tension that it ain't no tension. I look at you just like anybody. I know y'all.
I'm gonna
piggyback on you real quick, P.
Yeah.
So when I first graduated from Tennessee State, I never had much exposure to white people because I came from a black school, high school.
Went to a black college.
High school, always black. Yeah, into TSU, always black teachers, black kids, all my life. You know what I mean? So I didn't have much exposure into dealing with white people until I got into the corporate world. So that was different for me, especially when I'm paying attention to what's happening in the world. And I used to be infuriated, bro. Like I didn't know how to deal with the shit. And it just bothered me that motherfuckers knew what was going on. And I'm the only black person in this space, in this corporate space. And nobody asked me any questions about how you feel or, you know, I'm talking to these people every day. You know what I mean? And I don't know if they looked at me as if I wasn't one of them because I'm in this particular space. But nigga, bro, I used to be in that bitch like not like feeling fire in my body, bro. No, and I had to get out of that space. One, because I really wasn't that passionate about it, and that's when I went into the educational space. But now I'm an adult and I am back in the corporate space. I can navigate differently because I'm much wiser, because I lived in that space. I was younger. I was 23 years old and I got my first job and worked in corporate. And then now I'm 33 years old, 10 years later, and I'm in corporate space, and I'm an entrepreneur as well. So I'm just much wiser, and I can navigate it differently. But I'm much bold in who I am as a person, who I bring. So I'm an adult, first of all. So there's only so much that you could say to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Dive into you like you know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, you know, because you're not about to talk to me no kind of way. That's just, but first, I kind of was like the turn the cheek guy. Like a motherfucker could say anything to me and I didn't know how to deal with it. I was more so worried about my job and not getting fired and, you know, making sure I got the bills paid because I just bought this new car, all of that type of shit. Those things was mostly running through my mind. And I was like, okay, I understand the value that I bring to this space because I know who I am. And yeah, it's just like, you're not about to talk to me any kind of way. And we about to talk about this shit that's going on in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, put that shit on the TV.
Yeah.
Discussion, because this is what I'm feeling right now. You know what I mean? So like, I'm that guy, but I don't want to be like the rebel. At the same time, my voice got to be heard in this space because I'm still the only black motherfucker in here.
Yep.
Respect that.
And that whole thing, man, that whole rebellious shit, they can.
And
they
do
have
though.
that shit too.
I tell you this,
yeah.
I only felt conflicted when I valued money and when I felt like I needed them to get ahead in life. But then when I realized I was the coolest nigga in the room and them niggas wanted to be like me.
Oh God.
Wanted me.
Yeah, bars.
Then it was just like, I'm here. You feel me? Like
I'm gonna
feel comfortable.
I'm gonna butcher his name, but you would know exactly what I'm talking about, Motley. His name is like Whitner or something like that.
Whitner.
He has like a sneaker boutique. Oh, what is his name? You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You remind me of him so much, man. You remind me of him so much. The way you speak about that.
But yeah, man,
I hate I butchered his name because I follow dude.
It's all good. But yeah, bro, like when I realized my own powers from within, bro, that's when I was able to walk away and just be like, I control them.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I reached that point too. So now, last question. We can go ahead and wrap it up. I know we been dragging this for a minute, but I definitely enjoyed the conversation.
Combo, bro.
Man, it's a great conversation. This conversation is a blessing, man. These things need to be had for real.
Yeah.
That's why this go around. I just been sitting listening. I ain't really had too much to say. I just want to hear you guys' input, but I can wrap it up and just ask this, which pretty much is, what is the biggest lesson of 2020 that you'll carry forward in life? So while y'all think about it, I could go ahead.
I'm on one word.
I'll go ahead, Lance. You got it.
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say, man.
Go ahead.
Oh, you got it. Go ahead. You got it, bro.
I think it's a slight delay. So like, yeah, it kind of jump in and out. But for me, I was gonna say probably, I think this year taught me that time is a social construct, right? So it's like following February. So I started the year off on fire, right? I landed a gig, and I worked All-Star Week, pretty much over communications as well. So I pretty much was the liaison for all scheduling. So it was like, if Damian Lillard got an interview at 6:30, I got to make sure his ass get out this hotel. His management team got him in the whip, going to the stadium by 6 o'clock. You know, that was pretty much my day-to-day routine throughout the week. And it was like, imagine I just started 2020 off All-Star Week in my city. And I felt on top of the world, you know what I mean? And that was definitely a big moment for me in like my personal career and some of my achievements. But following that, you know, COVID hit. That next month, March hit. Everything's at a halt. Everything's at a standstill. And now it's like Monday morning. You wake up, there's nothing going on. It's nowhere to be. There's no emails to shoot out at the moment. And I think I struggled a while with the thought of, it's a Monday now. I'm supposed to be productive. I'm supposed to be going somewhere. I'm supposed to be on the phone right now. It's 10 a.m. on a Monday. And I think I got caught up in the time construct of like Monday through Friday is work. Saturday and Sunday is kind of leisure, relax. You know what I mean? Tend to personal life, to personal matters. So I think it took me a while to understand that it's okay to, you know what I mean, wake up at noon on a Monday if you had a long weekend and kind of just regain yourself, you know, and understand that you do have to balance out your mental health as far as your physical health along with your career, you know, and your obligations as a man. So I think 2020 taught me again that time is just, like I said, a social construct. Like, it's not real. Yeah. You know, you can still get shit done on your time, on your merit, and you don't have to fit this cookie cutter, you know, what a Monday through Friday typically is. Yeah. And that was something that took me maybe a month or two in the COVID and the stay at home situation to really kind of understand and grasp. So I think to answer that, moving forward, I think I've been able to balance, you know, getting done what I need to from an obligation standpoint, but also keeping myself in a good space as an individual.
Yeah.
For me, it's continue to tap in with yourself. Tap in with yourself, man. Like, that shit is so important. My wife and I, we bought a house last year, and it took me until, you know, the 1 year anniversary of us buying our house for me to realize that we even fucking bought a house.
Yeah.
We spent all this fucking money, took all this damn time to try to, you know, to get the house, and you lose track of time. You're running, you know, 110 miles per hour, bro, and none of your accomplishments really settle in because you're just doing so much shit. And I'm like, damn, man, we've done all this shit, but we really haven't even had the time to enjoy it because we're literally just moving nonstop. So I told myself this year, bro, I'm really going to take the time to enjoy the shit that I really worked hard for. And there's nothing that anybody can do to stop me. Like, I'm using that word no. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing nothing that I do not want to do. You can't convince me to do shit that I don't want to do. You know what I mean? I'm at that point of life where I'm really just good with, you know, who I am as a person, and I just want to just be happy, bro. I want to be happy. I want to, you know, continue to like grow, learn, you know, myself, my friends, my wife, and bro, I just want to be happy. You feel me? So I'm really dedicating 2021 to, you know, happiness, and, you know, enjoying the fruits of my labor, man. Cause bro, we do a lot of shit, not only for ourselves, but for a lot of people. You know what I mean? So, you know, all that energy that we put into other people and other things, projects, you know, we got to dip that shit right back into ourselves. And that's the only way that we're going to be able to live a life of, you know, fulfilledness. So that's where I'm at with 2021.
I dig that.
Yeah, Woods, you jumping in? I'm going anchor leg. I'm going nuts.
Man. Yeah. Y'all done threw me for a loop, bro. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Yeah, I'll jump in, man. The biggest thing for me, man, is making time for the shit that really matters to me. So the main thing for me is, I always called it like GFC, and that's God, that's family, community. But most importantly, family, bro. Because you can, if it's a balancing act for me. So if I outweigh the community aspect and I neglect family, and I'm not in the right space within myself. So I strategically make time to do the shit that I love to do, and that's my family. Like, I'm not a father, I'm not a husband, but I'm a son, I'm a brother, uncle, you know, and that shit matters to me a lot. You know what I'm saying? As much as I give myself to my community, I make sure I give myself to my nieces. I make sure I give myself to my friends. And I make sure I give myself to me. Shit, I do shit that I like to do. You know, I think in 2020, I realized that, like, I was giving so much of myself to people, whether that's in the system, whether that's in the run club, and shit, you can get lost in that shit, bro. And you can just be giving, and not filling your bucket back up, and then you'll find yourself burnt the fuck out.
Yeah.
2020 helped me sit down and realize that, like, okay, I can take a break from certain things. I can get off social media and be present with the people that matter to me the most. So yeah, just looking forward to 2021 is just taking those things that I've learned and making sure when things ramp up for real, that I keep that in mind. Cause it's a beast, man. Like you said, time is just a construct, bro. Like, and shit just moving. You look up and you be like, damn, like all this happened. Like I was just in the zone. You know what I mean? Like, did I eat today? Did I drink some fucking water? You know what I mean? Did I do this and do that? You know, like you gotta make sure you checking in with yourself, making sure you breathing, making sure you stretching, making sure you eating multiple times a day, and just doing all those things, man. Because time will get past you, man. But just be grateful for every day that we, have life, because that should be here one day, should be gone the next. So just being grateful, bro, through the whole entire process. There's so many unknowns, like from today to tomorrow. Like I just try to focus on the present, like the moment that I'm in, that I'm experiencing right now. Right, like I can't think too much about what happened 5 years ago, and I can't really think too far ahead for real, because
for real.
I can't fucking get there. Like, you know what I mean? Like I gotta think about right now.
Yeah.
And thinking too far ahead, you could press, like, because you thinking that you're not on the right wave, or you're not about to hit this particular goal, and like, I don't know if I'm gonna accomplish that, and you can be beating yourself down because you not there.
Yeah.
Right.
No race, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like take that shit one fucking step at a time, 1 foot at a time, and don't worry about the rest. Just, and as I move through life, man.
100%.
Yeah, no. And I mean, it's crazy that you ended on that note, because that's if I learned anything at all, man. January kicked off, we lost Kobe. Kobe was an individual that was committed to the process. He loved the process. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I alluded to it earlier, but I'm gonna really focus on it right now. From a relationship standpoint, from a self position, through your career, through whatever endeavor, whatever is going on in life, right? If you focus on the outcome and you fall short from that, you will meet disappointment. You will feel like a failure. You will feel as if Lance was just saying, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? It will throw you the fuck off, right? When you focus on the process of it all, when you focus on the work that you put in, that is the only thing that we can control ultimately. I can't control my girl. If she go out and do whatever with whoever, I have no control over that. You know what I'm saying? My boss, I have no control on how they feel about me. If they let me go, that's out of my control. But what is in each of our control is the work, and it's the commitment that we make to no one else but ourselves, right? At the end of every day, right? Since I started therapy, this is something that I practice. I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror, and just for that day, did you do what you said you was going to do? And because that's my commitment, I mean, I sleep like a baby, right? Yeah. I take life a day at a time. And it's solely because I can look at myself in the mirror every night, and I can say, it's really a matter of like, was you 100 today? Did you do what you said you was going to do today? Right? We sleep, we fight in our sleep because we know we probably should be up doing something that we told ourselves we wanted to do, right? But we didn't allow it to happen. Or we did do something that we know we ain't had no business doing, and now we can't rest because we knew we shouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? So
real shit.
I'm telling you, I tell my girl this all the time, right? Like, ultimately, if you were to get up and you packed your bags and you decided to move on tomorrow, I'm at a space in my life where, would I be hurt? Damn right. But I can handle emotion. I can work through that, right? My goal in life and what 2020 has taught me is about understanding. That's it. I don't have time to be mad. I don't have time to hold on to grudges. I don't have time to that because that's going to slow me up from what I'm committing to myself. And I'm on such a good journey. I'm on such a good road rather that I got to stay committed to what I'm doing. I hit rock bottom last year and I feel better than I've ever felt. But it's simply because I stopped overcommitting. I stopped telling my clients, yeah, hit me whenever. Yeah, I got you. I can do whatever, whenever. Just call me. Like I stopped overcommitting. And I take a second and I think about what can you commit to? And if you can't commit to it, don't say it. Don't promise it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? It's simple. And it becomes
that was a note for me right there.
Man, it becomes even more simple when you practice it. Man, I'm such an overcommitter just because I got a big heart. Like, bro, I got you, bro. My mama just call me whenever, bro. I swear to God, hit me. No, like Motley said. But before I even got to tell you no, I'm going to tell you what I can commit to. And I'm going to work hard to do just that. And even from a spiritual perspective, bro, it ain't no idea that we have this week. You know what I'm saying? All that come from God. All God want to do is see the work and see the commitment. That's it. And he going to take care of the rest. So I look at life real simple. As long as I get up, when I sit down in this basement, I pull out my Moleskine notebook. I write down what I'm going to do for the day. Do that shit. And you can sleep. And the next morning, guess what? Get up and do the same. And at night, you going to sleep. And before you know it, God already doing it. But before you know it, he going to start busting doors open. You know what I'm saying? $100,000 contract here, $1 million this year, 10 million that year. He gonna take all he want to do is see us doing the work. Get up, do the work, go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trust the process, man. That's it. Commit to what you can commit to. Don't overcommit in any situation and do that shit. Because if your girl waiting on you to get on the knee and she got a date in her mind, when that day hit and you ain't hit your knee,
right,
she gonna be mad as a motherfucker. But she's focused on the outcome. She's not focused on the work. She's not focused on the process. I got bars, my nigga.
Real talk.
I'm in my bag this year. I'm done, man.
That one
preaching, what?
The process, man. I got y'all, man. I got
real
y'all.
fucking talk.
The process, y'all. And y'all are men. I've been saying, y'all commit to the process. And I see God working through all y'all. I see it. We all sat in the same comments. We all sat in the same student center at one point.
Yep.
I see it. And 10 years later, we can still tap into each other. Like not a minute was lost. You know what I'm saying? That's real love. You know what I'm saying?
I want to.
I'm about.
That's real.
I'm done, man.
I know I don't want to steal this from you, L, but I just want to drop this. I just want to drop this on y'all. Y'all read The Alchemist, right?
Yeah.
Have y'all all read The Alchemist?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I started it, but I didn't finish it. But go ahead.
Okay, so look, reading it. I first picked it up 10 years ago. I was 23. I'm 30. I'll be 33 July 4th, and I'm rereading it now, man. And I'm just in part 1, and in that part 1, basically the guy, he told him, he filled this spoon up with oil, and he said, I want you to climb this mountain, and come back down and tell me what you see. But when I fill this spoon with oil, just come back down and show the oil was still full. So he goes up there and he climbs the mountain and he comes back down and he say, well, what did you see? He said, well, I didn't see shit, but I got the spoon full of oil. He said, go back up there and climb the mountain. He back up there and climbed the mountain, but he came back. He saw everything, but he came back and the spoon was empty. He didn't have no oil in there. And he said, you know what I wanted you to learn from that? Basically, he said, the key to happiness is being able to experience and see everything along your journey, but don't forget about the people. Don't forget about the things that you spill along the way. And what I took from that, I'm like, damn, it's people in my life that add in my journey, and you know what I'm saying, you might carry them along. Some people might drop off or fall. but just don't forget about the people. You know what I mean? Like shit. That's how you know when you revisit shit. Like sometimes we don't talk every day or anything like that, but it's people that I can have a conversation with, and it's like no time was lost. It don't matter if it's been a year or 2, 5 years, whatever, because we know where we are. You know, as we go in the life, man, we see so much shit and we experience so many things, and just don't forget about the people that you had along the way, even though they might not be there with you holding them on. Because if you hold on to everything, you're gonna miss out on the fucking jewels of everything along the journey. That shit was powerful to me. I'm like, damn, I never peeped that.
I got it. Yeah. I got to tap in now.
To leave with that.
Nah,
man,
perfect.
that shit, man, that was crazy, bro. Yeah.
Nah, I like that. So I guess at this point, the last thing on my slate is what's next? What's next for y'all entering this 2021, this new year? You know, we've seen a lot of shifts in social life as we know it, but just pushing forward, you know what I mean, and persevering. What's next for you all to this new year?
Damn,
Two focuses. Go ahead, Motley.
Yo, I'm going into fatherhood, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I'm pulling the fuck up.
I ain't gonna say act like I'm not scared, man. Like, you know, I know everything's gonna work out. I know everything's gonna be gravy, but we're guys who like control to a certain extent. I like to know what I'm getting myself into, and this is one of those moments where I don't know what the hell I'm getting myself into.
Every day,
manual,
bro.
It ain't no manual to this shit. You feel me? Like every situation is different. It's situational as hell. So, you know, I'm keeping a clear mind, bro, and I'm looking forward to the next step, man. But you know, I know for a fact that me as a man, I'm just gonna grow and build, and I can't wait to like pass along these stories, you know, that we're you know having right now, and just be like, yo, you got people to look up to. Like we got that network. Everything that we wanted as kids and everything that our parents wanted for us to have like a group of powerful Black men and women, you know what I mean? And
we got that shit.
Yeah, just they got that finally. You want an internship? Like we could get the internships. You ain't got to go through crazy ass processes. I got somebody in education. You want to be a fucking cross country person? Shit, I got L. You want to be in fucking PR? We got L. Like that's what this entire network was set up for. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that you know we were able to you know live our lives and do everything that we said we were going to do, because now this shit's about to rub off on our kids and the youth as a whole. So I'm really excited about that, man. That's what 2021 is looking like for me, bro.
Nah, that's a blessing. Man, that's a blessing.
For love.
Yeah.
I got cooking. I mean, I'm hyper focused on just visibility for why we still killing each other. I'm in the kind of like the second wave of it all, where people will be able to hear more about the mission behind it. People support me at this point, but I know for a fact when people hear and see the mission behind it all, when they see the work behind it all, I mean, it ain't no reason why the whole world won't ask themselves this question. So that's one of my main focuses. Graphic branding. Like I said, I learned more and more about my company just starting out as a freelance designer. I've learned and grown so much to a point where I'm really ready to establish my own creative firm. And in the steps of just building that, getting that shit together, and man, just being a service. Like I said, I ain't really changed since I've been me from jump. And everybody know that. I'm gonna continue to be me. And I'm really excited because it ain't about no outcome this year. Like I just said, it's about me just falling in love with what I do and doing it repeatedly. You know what I'm saying? Failing fast, keep trucking, building more relationships. And like I said, just continuing getting closer with God. That's 2021 in a nutshell for me.
Talk. Real talk. Me, bro, continuously brand building, dog. Like the thing is it never stops. You know what I mean? Just learning more, developing more. I got myself on qualifying for Boston. So the Boston Marathon, I got to run a marathon under 3 hours.
DOA.
DOH. I ain't fucking with it. I'm screaming. That's an insider, but look, Boston Marathon. I'm actually about to run after I get off this call. I bought a treadmill and shit, so I'm about to hit the basement, put some miles in.
Man.
No, I got to get these miles in. I'm about to show people how to be committed to the process. It's only gonna take me 10 minutes to do 2 miles.
Crazy.
But anyway,
Right.
but yeah, just committed to brand building, man. We got some big things coming up. A lot of big companies reaching out to us. Continuing our partnership with Rum Gum. Got some more news from Runner's World magazine, more tapped into us. We're gonna see what we're gonna do with Nike. And just continuously building out the brand, man. We got more athletic apparel that we're working on to come out in spring, fall. Yeah, that's it for real, bro. Just taking it one day at a time, dog. Like I can't really say like what's about to happen, but I know some great things are brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
2021 for me, man. Want to continue just building out my base. Continue expanding my clientele. Man, continue building on self-awareness and really honing in on who I am as an individual. What is it exactly that I want out of life? You know, I'm entering year 27 in August, so it's a lot of big life decisions coming up for me. Just as an individual and where I want to be, location-wise, you know, mentally, spiritually, financially. So I'm at that point now, just answering a lot of internal questions about who I am as a man, an individual, professional, you know, everything in that realm. So, yeah, it's gonna be a big growing year for me. Yeah. Other than that, you know, we're gonna keep hustling as always and connecting the dots. So
yeah,
lead out on a later note.
Man, I got some products and
Man,
shit.
you doing the bro? Like,
man, I'm gonna have to tap in with y'all boys too, bro. On like the marketing tip, man.
For sure.
Education,
Do
man.
it.
What's up? What's
Let's
up,
do
P? Yeah, nah, for sure. We
Come on,
definitely
man.
gonna make it happen, man.
Telling
We
y'all.
got the hip hop flashcards and shit about to launch. I ain't even showed y'all boys these shits yet, man.
Ooh.
look at niggas always want
L for Larry.
Oh,
There
we
you
got
go.
the goldfish joint.
the Joe. Hold on, wait.
We got
Oh.
I got the crayons and shit coming out.
Oh no, you going nuts.
Oh yeah, we going crazy.
Wow.
You know, ready to color the coloring book.
No, my man's talking about you worry about fatherhood, man.
Oh
Stop.
yeah, we going crazy.
Your foundation is
Lie to
solid.
you.
Oh yeah, that's out
No
of here.
future, you feel me? So I got
That's tough.
some shit, but
That's tough.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
tap in with y'all, man.
Yeah, let's rap about it for sure.
You gotta stop playing, man. I know, man. I'm personal friends with the superintendent of Milwaukee Public Schools.
Nice
My mama on the board in the
Man.
school, and we can make that happen.
That's fire.
Yeah,
That's
let's
fire.
do it, man. So yeah, 2808 Goldfish and the e-learning cards, man. We going crazy.
Man, let's get it, bro.
Man, that's crazy.
All power to y'all, man. My daughter up there is screaming, hollering right now, man. Get ready, Motley.
Yeah.
Look,
Get ready.
L, go ahead. Yeah. I ain't said going out, but you know I want to hear the wrap up. Because I really appreciate it.
It's all good. No, I definitely appreciate y'all. Like I said, setting aside the time. I know we had a few false starts, you know what I mean, but we definitely got it done. And hell of a conversation, you know what I mean. I definitely took away. Again, I respect y'all perspectives, and I definitely follow y'all journeys individually. So I definitely want to have that conversation. But again, all love and respect for y'all hopping on, man.
Do that.
Love,
appreciate that.
Man, you already know, bro.
Sir.
One.